Welcome to video 6 in my series 12 guaranteed ways to create a disloyal, disengaged and disheartened team and watch your business die a slow, painful death. Today we're going to talk about how to elevate stress levels and lower energy levels so that your team is moving towards burnout, high levels of stress and low levels of energy and performance. So first thing to do is maybe even create a policy where burnout is fine. Completely ignore the well-being of your team members and push them until they reach their limit and then they crash. Because after all, right, you can always bring in someone else when they go off sick, or you can even fire them if you're really skilled at doing that kind of thing. So have an active policy of burning people out. A good way to do that is to keep piling on the work and responsibility. Do what I did previously or talked about previously, which is make sure they feel really low about themselves anyhow, so they'll tolerate your impossible levels of task. Make sure you create a culture where people are really low on awareness of the signs of stress. You know, stress starts to show up in symptoms. Headaches, stomach pains, digestive problems, back pains are often the first signs. Make sure you create a culture where people are unaware of that. And if they do get problems with that, give them a painkiller or something so that you completely ignore the symptoms and you mask them with some kind of pharmaceutical drug. It works for the short term until eventually they crash and get really sick, but you can get a lot more performance out of them that way. Basically, you can talk a lot in theory about how important people are to you and how important work-life balance is, but don't back that up with any policies or any authentic behaviors. So just talk about it, but don't really care about people. And make sure you focus not on energy, but just on time. So, you know, it's more important that somebody looks like they're being busy, even if they're really low on energy or really poor with their concentration or really not sure what they're doing. As long as they're sat at their desk for hour upon hour a day and you can micromanage that and look over their shoulder, don't worry about how effective they are in that time or how their energy levels are. Just make sure they put in lots and lots and lots of hours so that they get really tired and exhausted. It could be that they're doing nothing. Of course, when it comes to energy and stress management, you could do the opposite of all of this. That's what I share and teach you how to do in my LPS Teams model. So we could look at how energy is way more important than time and how to help create an environment that supports people's mental, physical, emotional, and purpose-driven energies. You could do that, and that will lead to higher levels of performance and lower levels of stress. But it's your choice. So to summarize for today, if you really want to create a toxic environment where people's levels of energy are low and stress levels are high, don't respect people's stress, ignore the warning signs, create a culture where burnout is fine, you can always replace them, right? Talk a lot about work-life balance, but mean nothing by it and ignore it in terms of your policies or procedures because you don't really care about people. And make sure people are spending lots of time at work, but don't at all focus on the effectiveness or the energy that they have in that time. Guaranteed way to watch your business die a slow, painful death. I'm off to do the opposite of all of those things. How about you?